Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Roland got a kick-ass new phone from Nokia. 2-megapixel Nokia N70 something. Just for blogging about it, they gave him a free phone. Please take pictures, Roland. Everyone
Don't worry.
People mock him about his 15,000 shitty camera phone photos on Flickr, but I guess it pays off with this fancy $1,000 phone you can't even buy anywhere in Canada. Anyway, say hi to the internet, Colin.
Hey to the internet, Colin.
Colin Brummel. Incorrectly predicted last night's election.
Thank God. I was predicting a conservative landslide.
It was a election night here in Canada last night, and the government changed from a liberal government to a conservative government, which doesn't actually describe their politics, but that's actually the name of the party. So Colin can maybe tell us a little bit more about what they mean.
A little bit what they mean. Well, they're kind of,
Like what's the conservative equivalent in America?
Well, they're pro-God, pro-guns, down with democracy, that kind of stuff.
Oh, come on, down with democracy.
Roland, you have an opinion on that? Say hi to the internet, Roland.
My opinion is that they have to tone down the more, shall we say, non-Canadian consensus elements of their party. Interesting that the voter split was like rural voted conservative, urban largely voted NDP and liberal.
Isn't that the way it always is, though?
It was less so in the last election, right? Rural actually voted liberal.
Well, what the fuck, man? I thought Canada was like super progressive and lefty and liberal and like open-minded
It is in
and
the
like
cities.
setting the pace in the world for like
it is in the cities.
politics.
Unlike in the United States, we actually
What's up, Richard?
Hey, internet, how's it going?
We actually live more in cities. We're more urban percentage-wise than the United States. Is that not right, Richard?
I think that's right.
So
You're more urban than the United States?
we have more urban population percentage-wise than the United States,
I
which
believe that.
means that
You had an interesting opinion about how the government actually is still liberal and progressive, or how the majority of vote.
Well, you asked Colin about the how they would compare to American politics. I would say that the Conservative Party of Canada are
Republicans?
Texan Democrats. So fairly progressive, but also pro-gun, fiscally conservative. That
You
kind
said
of thing.
Texan Democrats.
And then the Liberals would be, say, Connecticut Democrats. So very left wing, but still capitalist, still, but also pro government, social program, that kind of thing.
Right.
The New Democrats would be the communists in the United States. They're quite socially democratic.
We don't have communists in the United States. I think we killed them all
you
or put
killed
them all in jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put them all in jail. And then the Bloc Québécois are the interesting one. There's no such equivalent in the United States. It's the Nationalist Party of Quebec. So they advocate a complete separation from Canada.
And it's the weirdest thing. They take like a quarter of the votes, right? So like every election they get the same amount of votes, and
Something like that,
they don't really get their say in power. They don't really get a seat in government per se, but they get their 50 seats or
Right,
whatever.
they'll get their 50 seats, and they'll have 10% of the Canadian vote total, but it'll be about 46% of the Quebec vote, and because it's so geographically concentrated, they'll get almost all of the seats in Quebec.
So why don't you all let them go off and just like have their own country then? Is it because you need their taxes to run the rest of the country?
Well, it's the idea that we want to have Canada as a dual nation. We like the idea that we can incorporate the French language and the French speaking Quebecois values are Canadian values, and also they do have a lot of energy, so it does help with our social programs, and they do pay a lot of taxes, but
Rich is a good person to give us Canadian politics 101 here. So thanks a lot. Say goodbye to the internet.
Bye,
This has
internet.
been a good little lesson, but I think we need to have a little bit of fun here. Hey, Roland, you had any caffeine today?
not enough.
Yeah?
Not enough.
Never enough, right?
So they say. So they say.
Anyway, KK checking in from Vancouver post-election, giving you a little Canadian politics 101 on Roland's fancy new phone. Over and out.
You're gonna Bluetooth it to your phone?